Part of our 2023 North Dakota Lions player profile. Joining us from the Bismarck Century Patriots, that is William Ware. And Will, for you to get nominated here your senior season to the Lions All-Star Basketball Series, what does it mean for you?
It meant a lot. It was actually kind of one of my personal goals going into the season, besides all like my team goals. But yeah, it was a big thing to try to get recognized, and for me to be selected, it meant a lot.
So kind of going into this particular event, what is a player or who's a player or two when you saw the roster get announced from the Class A side that you're excited to have on your team for a week of basketball coming up?
I would say specifically from the east side, I saw that Zach Kraft is on the team, and I used to play. He used to be on our AAU team, North Dakota Phenom, and I had played with him before, and he's just really fun to be with and have a nice little shooter in the corner to kick that out too.
What made Minot State the right spot for you here, Will, from an athletic academic side? What just made, Minot State, the Magic City, be the right spot for you?
Well, their coaches were recruiting me since my sophomore year of high school, and they're just really good guys. They made me feel really comfortable, and then I went down on like 2 visits down there, and I just kind of really liked the area.
Take us through your favorite basketball memory of all time. Is it something as a fan? Is it something as a player? Just kind of what stands to mind, 1 or 2 memories for you here, Will?
I would probably have to say either just winning the WDA championship, or there was a game my junior year where the clock was winding down with like 4 seconds, and I happened to bank in a half quarter for the win. It's pretty exciting. Everyone started rushing the court, and I was just running around.
Take us through a little bit of your coaching staff, Coach Mathern, and a lot of assistants who know the game really well. What's something that you hope to take from them as your time as a Bismarck Century Patriot moving to Minot State coming up in the fall?
I think a lot of people know that Mattern's a very good defensive coach. He's always preaching defense, and he tells you, like, if you can play defense, you can play in most programs. Everyone needs that guy who can kind of go out there and lock up someone. So that was something he always preached on me, is to work on my defense, because you can find a way on the court if you can guard someone.
Are you a superstitious person? Was your team superstitious at all this year, Will? And if so, can you take us behind the curtain, if you will?
Actually, during the whole WDA and a little bit of state, we were Ice Spice, the artist. We'd play some Ice Spice in the locker room. We thought that was our go-to song. So all WDA, we'd make sure we played that before we went on the court. Had a little fun in the locker room.
Will, for you moving forward, what would be some words of wisdom for someone that, you were in those shoes, a 13, 14-year-old, chomping at the door, so to speak, trying to have an opportunity to play at a varsity sport and, be an all-conference caliber player or be an all-stater, an all-star here? What would be some words of advice that you would give to someone that's kind of coming up through that grind process right now?
Kind of just, I'd like to say enjoy the journey, but also be that impact guy. Like, you might not be someone who's gonna score all the points for your team, be your leading scorer, but if you're that guy who's out there like guarding, diving on loose balls, you're talking on defense, your coaches will really notice that, and they'll like that a lot, and that could be the difference between you and another player getting on the court.
All right, final thing for you here. Best high school class of all time for Bismarck Century. What is one that stands out, comes to mind that you're like, all right, whether it was the course, maybe it was the teacher, what kind of comes out to mind here for you, Will?
I'm going to have to go American pageant class with Mr. Lee and Mrs. Poolman. It's kind of a mixture of history and English. Good block class. There's just a lot of fun to be in besides your traditional just history and English classes. They make it really interesting, and Mr. Lee's quite the guy to have for a teacher.
Awesome. Will, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck here in the Lions All-Star Basketball Series and playing collegiate hoops as well at Minot State coming up in the fall.
Thank you.